question.
Exploitation is a huge part of this.
All right, there we go. Well, I mean, there are a lot of people don't. Some people think that you're always going to be in a process of recovery from an eating disorder. That it's always going to be sitting on your shoulder and being that option of like, too much, too little, too much, too little, you know, over or under, over or under. And I'm not sure that I really believe that. I think that will be a point, potentially, can't say, but that there will be a point where, you know, yeah, it'll pop up, and it'll be kind of like, you know, hey, remember me? Like, I'm over here. Do you remember how fun that was? And we'll be like, no, how about not? And that still that happens to me right now. Like, a week ago, I had, you know, urges to act out on an eating disorder, and it didn't. And it comes up. When you're first in the process of when I was first in the process of recovery, it was very much like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, where it would be, I would have, I don't know, it's very weird because you have an instance where it's like, don't want to do this, and it might last 30 seconds, and it's great. You're like, yes, this is actually existing inside of me, and then it goes away. And then the next time it happens, it's twice as long, and then it goes away. The next time it happens, it's twice as long, and then it goes away. And then the longer that you kind of are able to hold on to that feeling of, I don't want to act out on my eating disorder. I don't want to binge. I don't want to purge. I don't want to starve myself. I don't want to over-exercise. The more often that you get those feelings and are able to kind of be like, okay, this is happening right now. Let's journal about like why I don't want to do these things. And really stay with that feeling, the longer it lasts. So it definitely was the kind of thing in treatment where it was like the aha moment, where you'd kind of feel it in like a part of your body, where you kind of be thinking about something and be like, well, how am I really feeling? Like, do I really want to eat some more, or am I really okay? And you'd really get in touch with an inner part of you that would be like, no, I think I'm okay. And it would just be like, oh, like golden shafts of light coming down from the sky, and then it would go away. And then the next time it happened, it was longer and longer. I remember the morning when I was at Castlewood, I woke up and was like in the bathroom brushing my teeth, and I was like, I like my body. First time that had happened in like 5 years. And that stayed with me for like half an hour, and it was like, what is going on? Like, where is this coming from? I don't even know. And then it went away. And then it came back. You know, so it's just kind of that process of like having it be there, and it's not going to be like, I don't sit, you know, around every day being like, I feel totally comfortable around food, and like my body's great, and like I'm totally fine. Like, I don't walk around every day like that's not where I am. I'm doing my life. And when it comes down to those moments where, you know, I don't know, I'm changing for the gym or like going to the pool or whatever it is, and there can be either moments where it can go either way. Or it can be like, eh, or it can be like, yeah, I'm doing okay. But I think with an eating disorder, it's kind of what happened for me was that it would be like, oh my God, my world is over because I feel like, you know, my foot is too big. You know, it'd be like, oh my God, my foot needs to change its size. That's like what it's like, is because you're like every little aspect, like my fingers are swollen, like what can I do to change that? Because it communicates to your eating disorder that like, okay, you gained weight, you're retaining water, you know, just like goes everywhere. So, you know, when it happens now, it's kind of like, it's my body, it's doing its thing, like 25 different things could be happening right now, I don't need to worry about it. I've had a number of experiences recently where I work with young kids. They're very observant and like to say the first thing that comes into their mind. So, you know, this young girl was like, you have a zit on your face. You know, like 3 years ago, it would have been like, oh my God, like I'm such a disgusting person. What is wrong with me? She thinks I'm fat, like blah, blah, blah. And it was like, yep, that's right. I have a zit on my face. Like, it's gonna go away in like a day. calm down. You know, it's like, so it's just kind of that kind of thing where that's how I am now about it, where I go through that 20-second to maybe a 2-hour, depending on what it is, moments of being like, like I can't go on with my life, like this is horrible. But I have, through going through treatment and through continuing to do work, coming in here and bringing the issues to Shayna, who is who I work with primarily, and talking with her about it and being like, these are the things that came up for me, this is what was hard for me, and then we kind of break it down and are like, okay, so either what does this trace back to, like when was the first time someone told you you had to sit on your face, like, you know, that kind of thing of like, is it bringing up that feeling, or is it bringing up something else? Is it bringing up something else that's going on in that day? So I've been able to kind of break it down into being like, okay, what is this really about? You know, am I stressed out about, you know, the fact that I'm looking for an apartment, or that, you know, my job isn't going so well, or like whatever it is, and why is that now translating into my body, and why am I taking it out on my body?
And there are other things that you're worried about that are life worries, things that I worry about, things that Shayna worries about, things that Sean worries about, without the food being a piece of it.
Yeah.
And so it's gone from struggling with the food and the emotions to life and the emotions,
Right.
And that's where I kick you out of the door and say, you know,
yeah. Get over it, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Go deal with that.
Yeah, go deal
No,
with it.
I mean, that was, when I came here, I was a month and a half out of treatment.
Mm-hmm.
That transition is bizarre, by the way. Because you're used to like sitting around with like a bunch of like 20 other people like talking about your mind, your eating disorder, and like what your thoughts are and all this stuff, and you come out of treatment and you're like, no one knows what the hell I'm talking about. Like, okay, awkward. But my family's been really, a lot of the people I know were like very like, so what did you go through? Like, whoa. Which was actually really helpful.